Let f denote a polynomial function. If a is less than b, and if f of a and f of b are opposite signs, there is at least one real zero of f between a and b. What does that mean? It just means that if you take a polynomial and it's continuous in some interval from a to b, and if the results of f of a and f of b have different signs, meaning one is positive and one is negative, at some point between a and b, the graph crosses the x-axis. So we're going to use the intermediate value theorem to show that the polynomial we have here has a zero on the interval given. So f of x equals 8x to the fourth minus 2x squared plus 5x minus 1 on the interval 0 to 1. So from 0 to 1 or from a to b. So we're just going to plug in 0 for x and then 0 for y, or 0 for x again, and get our two y values. So f of 0 is going to equal 8 times 0 to the fourth minus 2 times 0 squared plus 5 times 0 minus 1. When you work all that out, you end up getting negative 1. Now let's do it again for 1. We're going to do f of 1, and it's going to be 8 times 1 to the fourth minus 2 times 1 to the second plus 5 times 1 minus 1. And when you work all that out, you're going to get positive 10. So since it's continuous, because it's a polynomial function, on an interval 0 to 1, we get a negative number and then a positive. We can say, by the intermediate value theorem, and I'm going to abbreviate it here, there is at least one 0. What is that 0? Not particularly sure, but we just know that there is at least one, and that's all this theorem is stating. Next, we have f of x equals 2x cubed plus 6x squared minus 8x plus 2 on the interval -5, -4. Again, it's a polynomial, so we know it's continuous throughout. So we're just going to plug in our a and b value. So f of -5 is going to be 2 times -5 cubed plus 6 times -5 squared minus 8 times -5 plus 2. And that works out to be -58. Now we're going to do it again for f of -4. And we're going to get 2 times -4 cubed plus 6 times -4 squared minus 8 times -4 plus 2. And that works out to just be 2. So again, a negative and a positive. So we can say that by the intermediate value theorem again, there is at least one 0. Again, we don't know where the 0 is, we just know that it exists. Now let's do it one more time for this long one. F of x equals x to the fifth minus x to the fourth plus 7x cubed minus 7x squared minus 18x plus 18 on the interval 1.4 to 1.5. So a very small interval, but still our a and b value. So we're going to do f of 1.4, and that's going to be 1.4 to the fifth minus 1.4 to the fourth plus 7 times 1.4 cubed minus 7 times 1.4 squared minus 18 times 1.4 plus 18. And you work all that out, you're going to end up getting -0.1754. Now let's do it again for 1.5. So f of 1.5, going to follow the exact same steps. So 1.5 to the fifth minus 1.5 to the fourth plus 7 times 1.5 1.5 cubed minus 7 times 1.5 squared minus 18 times 1.5 plus 18, and here we get 1.4063. So again, it's continuous on some interval. One is negative, one is positive. So we can say by the intermediate value theorem, there is at least one 0. Now, everything came out to be negative then positive for all my answers, but that's okay. If it was positive then negative, that's fine as long as one is positive and one is negative. That's all you're really concerned with.